Mayday! Control's unresponsive. Tower, do you read? Shit. Comms are down.
We spoke of was and when, although I wasn't there. He said I was his friend, which came as some surprise. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time.
Sorry about my last stream, guys. I've been out of weed up until here just a few minutes ago. I got mad at the game, even though it was my fault that I was losing. Welcome to the stream, and as always, if you like the content, give the video a like and subscribe. Appreciate you being here, and you're helping the channel grow. So...
Gdzie tak chcemy? V has come to.
V has come too.
Ακούεις με? Ακούεις με? Can you hear me? Are you having difficulty speaking? Can you move your head? Just nod if you can hear me. Look up, please. Very good. How do you feel now? Can you speak? What is your name? When were you born? Can you recall? Good. Now then. Please try to relax. There is plenty of time. I need to tell you something. Please listen and try not to panic. You've been in a coma
I'm gonna
for
panic.
quite some time. Yes, I know. You would like to know how long. I'm afraid it's been 9 years. Damn it! Nosocoma! 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 Nurse! Calm down. Calm down. Try not to panic. Ρώτησέ με. Try not to panic. You'll be all right. There now. Just rest.
How do you feel?
It's been 1 week since you came to. Now, let's try getting you out of that bed. Nurse. Don't worry. You've lost some strength, but we've been maintaining your muscle mass through massages, CPM therapy, and EMS. Now, I need to explain something to you, but you mustn't be alarmed. 9 years ago, you were injured in an explosion. Upon examination, we discovered 108 foreign bodies embedded within you. In addition to shrapnel, we also found fragments of human bone and human teeth. Most of it was removed, but some of the fragments still remain. They are located near your heart and in your skull. Look at this. The fragments are lodged deep within your cerebral cortex. We couldn't give you an MRI, the metal, you see. But even if we were to extract it, you would most likely suffer a brain hemorrhage. Mental and physical impairment are unavoidable. However, your current status is not life-threatening. One more thing. This X-ray is on your upper body. You better look now. Best to understand your situation sooner than later. I know it's difficult, but please look down. It's best to see it with your own eyes. Be brave. Νιώσ' ακόμα! Γρήγορα! Try to calm down! Calm down! Please! Calm down! It's gonna be okay! Yes, yes! Calm down! Yes. Yes.
Έμεινε σε κατάσταση πλαστική εγχείρηση.
Κάποιος ήδη γνωρίζει ότι έχει ξυπνήσει και αν τρέχει μεγάλο κίνδυνο, πρέπει να ενεργήσουμε άμεσα. Προετοιμάστε τον για εγχείρηση. Το πιστεύω.
It's true. There are those who wish you would never woken up. You should be dead, but you're not. The wheels are in motion. Your enemies are everywhere. We must alter your appearance immediately. Otherwise, I fear you won't leave this place alive. It's a wide open world out there, so there's something we need to take care of first. I'm going to change your appearance. We have no other choice. What you look like, however, very good. Now, let's remove these bandages. Your face has healed nicely. To tell you the truth, these bandages were more for your protection, to hide you from those who want you dead. As of today, your name is Ahab. Forget everything. Your name, your past. This is you, as you've lived until this day. Tomorrow, it becomes your phantom.
Not yet. The patient in the next bed saw my face. Of course. Consider it done.
Okay, have time to go.
What happened to the woman?
The woman? We gave her a light. She took the short way down.
Who are you?
Who am I?
That's Big Boss.
You're talking to yourself. Been watching over you for 9 years. You can call me Ishmael.
What the hell is going on?
Well, the good news is here.
Yeah, that's Big Boss.
Bad news? The world wants you dead.
That's the same Snake that you play as in Metal Gear Solid 3. By far, still to this day, my favorite Metal Gear game.
Need a little pick-me-up?
But yeah, he's Big Boss for sure, and if you notice, he sounds exactly like you. You're playing as Venom Snake, and then you have Solidus Snake, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, and a couple of others.
Come on!
Yeah, this is Punished Venom Snake, which is the same Snake that Solid Snake defeats in the second Metal Gear game, or the first one. And we're building the same mother base that you play on in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty in this game. So if you play Metal Gear Solid 2, it takes place after this, and the base that you build in this game is the base that Raiden infiltrates in Metal Gear, and so does Iroquois Pliskin, which is Solid Snake. They infiltrate the base that you build in this game in Metal Gear Solid 2 and destroy it. And this takes place after Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which was a PSP game. This is my favorite game series, my favorite creator of all time. So yeah, the guy that's in front of me is the guy that you actually play in Metal Gear Solid 3, which they're remaking, and I'm super happy about that. I wish they would make it more open world like this one, but I understand why they're not going to. It's just an all-around amazing game. It's actually more advanced than any other Metal Gear game that has come out before or after. They had a hunger mechanic, they had a heat mechanic, they had, you know, I don't remember if they had a starvation, or like not a starvation, but a dehydration mechanic. You had to take care of your own wounds, you know, cook your own food, hunt in the wild, like whatever you caught is what you ate, type bullshit. And then there are so many unique areas in that game that you just won't see anywhere else in any other Metal Gear Solid game. And that's Psycho Mantis from the first Metal Gear Solid game.
Something's coming.
That's Vulcan. And Vulcan is the guy that Ishmael there defeated in Metal Gear Solid 3 at the end of the game. You defeated Vulcan, and then when you beat him with Eve, he gets struck by lightning on top of the Shagohod, and that's how he dies. Getting fused with the machine itself. The Shagohod is the first Metal Gear in the Metal Gear Solid series, and it's more like a tank. It's more like a tank than any of the other Metal Gear. Like, Salanthropus, the Metal Gear that you fight in this game, is also, like, on the very first mission where you play as Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. They have an area that you go to that has tons of Salanthropus, like, in a ship, just on a ship, all standing there. This is before that. In this game, you'll see the first whatever, you know the name. I just love this game so much. I love Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima is the best.
Drugs kicked in? Good, let's hurry.
Hold up, let's fix this. Next time, do it yourself. It's always good to try and mend your injuries while hiding from the enemy. Over there.
Oh, and by the way, if you heard me talking about Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear Solid 2, they are in fact not the same thing. Metal Gear Solid is the first 3D rendition of the Metal Gear games, and you're playing in the first one, in the first Metal Gear Solid game, you're playing as the same Snake that you played in the first 2 Metal Gear games. But in the second Metal Gear Solid game, you start out playing Snake and then play Raiden, who later becomes a cyborg in Metal Gear Solid 4 Sons of Patriots. Right? And then you have, let me see. Yeah, then you have Big Boss, which is in front of me right there, but you play as him in Metal Gear Solid 3 and in Peacekeeper. And then now I'm playing as Venom Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4. Which, unlike the other versions of Snake, who isn't Big Boss, is not a clone of Snake. That facial reconstruction thing that they were talking about, he's already gone through it. He's the guy who protected Snake on the helicopter when it got exploded. So because he protected Snake, he winds up gaining the ability to become Snake. It's to hide Big Boss from the world, because everybody wants Big Boss. So Venom Snake essentially and effectively becomes Big Boss until he dies, and then Big Boss makes his grand return. Matter of fact, I think the only Metal Gear game that I haven't played is the first one, because I didn't have it on PlayStation 1. I had it on PlayStation 2 back in the day, and the first Metal Gear game that I played was actually the origin of Metal Gear Solid, so I gotta learn about the game in the right order, because the first game I ever had was Metal Gear Solid 3. And it's, to this day, my favorite game of all time.
Help me. I don't want to die.
I beat Metal Gear Solid 3, and then I got Sons of the Patriots and beat that, which is actually technically the third game, maybe, yeah, the third, maybe the fourth game, because it might take place after Metal Gear 2. But there's also hints that it doesn't, like it might be taking place literally at the same time. And I think I understand it now, because that's why you keep encountering Iroquois Pliskin in Metal Gear Solid 2 on that basically Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of the Patriots and Metal Gear 2 is happening at the same time. So as you fight the different bosses that you fight on Mother Base and Metal Gear Solid 2, Solid Snake, the clone of Snake, the perfect clone of Snake, is fighting Venom Snake, which is the character I'm playing right now, and he kills him. So that makes sense, actually.
Press the stance button to stand up. Don't get caught in those searchlights. Here they come. Hurry. Don't you die on me. Ahab. Ahab? Time to walk. Press the stance button to stand up. Don't get caught in those searchlights. Here they come. Hurry. Now! Move! Go! Come on. Shit. It's ugly down there. Turn back.
Okay, but why are you so loud about it?
This way.
Πάμε γρήγορα. Come on.
Σας παρακαλώ. Τι συμβαίνει? Δεν βλέπω τίποτα.
Δεν είναι κανένας, θα μας σκοτώσουνε.
Ναι, τον είδα πριν λίγο.
What's happening out there?
It's all right. We'll be okay.
Can't see what's happening. You hear that? What's going on out there? Hey!
Huh? Πρόσεχε.
Okay. Hey! Hey! Hey!
I can't see what's happening.
What is that? What's happening out there? Does anybody know?
Hey!
We should go. You hear them coming? Please, please.
Anything?
Negative.
He came in here. Keep looking.
This way. ducks. Blend in with the bodies. Get down on your stomach and crawl. If you move, we're done for. Play dead. Freeze.
This is so hard to do with a drifting stick. The longest running joke in Metal Gear history.
Hold on. We better stop and treat that injury. We'll have to take the stairs down. Don't you die on me, Ahab. Hold on. We better stop and treat that injury. We'll have to take the stairs down.
That was a Metal Gear Solid 3 reference. One of like 4 or 5.
Know how to shoot a gun? Hold down the aim button to aim, then press the attack button to fire. Destroy it. Hold up. I'll take the right. You take the left. Get ready. Nice work.
That "you're pretty good" statement is another Metal Gear Solid 3 reference. It's what Snake said to Ocelot after beating the ever-loving shit out of him for the first time. And then Ocelot also comes back with a statement that Snake said to him in that exact same fucking moment. To one of the soldiers on Mother Base, so...
I'll run interference.
I misinterpreted what direction I was supposed to go in. So yeah, this game here is setting up the first two Metal Gear games back on the NES. I should have saw that coming. I've seen him do that in so many fucking cutscenes. If I knew it was that simple. So this game has a lot of references to the Book of Revelations, you know, referring to Snake essentially as Jesus in this game, or among some other things. Like this is supposed to be one of the four horsemen, the horsemen of war in front of me right now.
Get in!
I didn't realize that my stick keeps drifting in these cutscenes. Back on glass, got glass in the back. Back first, I'll pass. That shit is trash. No, I'm kidding. Leviathan! Allegedly. Snake also obviously being one of the four horsemen. But Jesus himself is written about as if he was one of the four horsemen in the Bible, so...
Hang on! Use this! Watch our backs! Shoot it! Fire Cassidy's about to attack!
him off!
That's one of the hardest boss fights of any Metal Gear Solid game. When you fought Metal Gear Solid, the first one, when you fought Psycho Mantis had the ability to make you unplug your controller and plug it into different ports throughout the fight. Your controller would literally stop working in the middle of the fight. I never got to experience this, but I've seen gameplay of it, and this shit was fucking crazy, bro. Like, how on the PlayStation 1 do you design a game that knows how to make you switch slots? Like, your controller stopped working in fighting Psycho Mantis. It's like, still to this day, one of the hardest boss fights so I've heard.
The name's awesome. Big boss. You know who I am. A certain man gave me a job to do. Two, actually. First was to get you out of that hospital. The second was to rescue the man himself. You remember? Your partner 9 years ago, Kazuhira Miller. 9 years back,
He's talking about the Peacekeeper campaign if you played it on the PSP.
Considered dead. Until today, that is, when Cypher found you. And it's not just them. The whole world wants you dead. You'll have to join up with Miller. Build that private army of yours one more time. It's your only chance. First, we need to save Miller. He's in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan?
Snake was so fucking buff in Metal Gear Solid Peacekeeper, it wasn't funny. It's like the only game that he actually had a good amount of muscle mass in.
4 years ago, the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. The Muslims are fighting back with Western support. Miller was training Mujahideen rebels when he was captured by the Soviets. The Reds' 40th Army. Troop strength somewhere around 100,000. Squad holding Miller set off near the Pakistan border yesterday. Now, in 3 days, they'll reach the Soviet garrison. They'll be interrogated for a few more days, and it's off to a lager. Or left to rot in a ditch on Afghan soil. I give him 2 weeks. The job didn't mean anything to Miller. He only took it on to keep you safe. Well, there's our ride. whaling ship. Had a pretty good deal on her once the IWC started raising a stink. Now 7 days to Port Qasim, another 3 overland. So we won't have much time once we're there. Don't take too long getting used to your new self. Hang on. Ha!
You know, it's always discouraging having people just come to my stream for a few minutes and then leave. I don't know. I appreciate you guys when you do stay, but like, a lot of people don't give me the time of day for some reason. That's a song from Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's called Snake Eater, I believe. One of the most amazing like, dude, the music that, oh my god. Oh, I love this game so much. I love every Metal Gear so much. Like, the greatest game creator of all time right now. There is none other like him is Hideo Kojima. Like, nobody else can do what he does.
The area ahead is under total Soviet control. Miller's been captive for 10 days. Not much time left.
Weather will clear shortly.
Storm's passing. Getting used to it? After 9 years on ice, the solo infiltration of the Soviet main ground forces should be the perfect warm-up. Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your iDroid. You see Wandy on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is, we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first priority.
Got your binoculars? Or should I say, your int scope?
See the village? Straight ahead? All right, that's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village. The Violo Calais.
The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back. Since then, it's become a base for the Soviets' 40th Army.
A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dawandehar. You may be able to pick up the trail there. It's worth a shot. Put a marker on it so you don't lose track of where it is.
Good. Now you won't have to worry about getting lost along the way.
He can't have much left in him. I give him 3 days, tops. If we fail, and he dies, we lose our chance of revenge. But we need more intel. If you just go charging into Dawandehar, you'll be putting both your lives at risk. See what you can find out first. The Soviets have other outposts, not just the one you saw. Afghanistan is a big place. I expect you'll become quite familiar with those binoculars as you plan your next move. How and where you make it, well, that's up to you. From here on out, you're on your own. You're a legend in the eyes of those who live on the battlefield. That's why you have to handle this mission yourself. Put those 9 years behind you, and return as Big Boss. That's how Koss would want it. I'll be sending additional intel by radio. Stay sharp. Not one of Miller's bodyguards survived. And they were good. All we found on the scene were their corpses and knees. They'll be missing them. And you're his only hope of getting them back. Now go! Let the legend come back to life.
Hold it. There's a Soviet guard post. There are bound to be guards. Take a look with your binoculars. Put the enemy in the center of your field of view. Yeah. That's marking. Focus on the thread and it'll be marked automatically. You can mark enemies and vehicles by zooming in with your binoculars or camera. Once they're marked, you'll also see their positions on the map. Security at that guard post is relatively light. Looks like the perfect place for a warm-up. Try to remember the ways you used to deal with enemies. Anytime you need advice, just give me a call. Sight, sound, keep all your enemy senses in mind. When you're near an enemy, stay low and move slowly.
move. On the ground.
Я не понимаю. Не понимаю.
Boss, you don't understand what he said? I guess that makes sense. It looks like that horn stuck in your head has impacted the language center of your brain. If only we had a recruit with the Russian interpreter skill, we could get by with simultaneous interpretation. Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight.
George!
You're almost at the enemy outpost, Vialo Village. The village is crawling with enemy soldiers. Don't just go waltzing in. Start with some recon. Is there anywhere that overlooks the village? How about it? Can you see the village from there? Use the binoculars to recon the place. Look at where the enemies are stationed. Look at their gear. Take it all in. There should be a command post somewhere. See any buildings with tighter security? If there are clues to Miller's whereabouts, I'll bet you can find them in there. Not a civilian in sight. The Soviets have taken complete control of the place.
This drifting stick's gonna get me killed, bro.
A dumpster. Looks big enough to hide somebody. You could stash a downed enemy in there, or hide in it yourself. Just don't stand too close to me afterward. A parabolic antenna. There could be intel files of some kind in there. Those materials are already processed. They should come in handy sooner or later. Why not start gathering them? So you picked up an intel file. Now we know where Miller is. I'm marking it on your iDroid.
Ладно, я пошел обратно в казарму. Мне осталось всего несколько дежурств.
Еще один дембель. Мне еще служить и служить.
Посмотришь, что будет зимой, молодой. Тут холодно, как нигде на земле.
Дед Мороз наш друг. С ним душманом живется туго.
Я вырос в Крыму, ты в Беларуси. Совершенно разные места. Кроме того, я наконец-то увижу Гошку. Я уже не дождусь.
Ладно, хорош.
Увидим.
Planning to walk the whole wilderness on foot? Use your horse.
Bro, I have barely made it out of sight. I am not hopping on a horse right now. You can be patient. Hakuna your tatas, bro. Calm the calamities that are your memories, my guy.
Sun's down already. It goes without saying that darkness is good for infiltration. But your vision will be affected just the same. Keep your guard up, for who knows when you'll bump into an enemy.
Whoa, whoa!
It's an enemy guard post. Watch yourself. That's a type of medicinal plant. Bring it back to base. It's sure to be useful sometime. type of medicinal plant. It contains trace amounts of a benzodiazepine derivative that's the active ingredient in pentazimine.
It's also one of the most active ingredients in Jägermeister. Jägermeister's all like, we've got 52 herbs that we use for a drink and you'll never figure it out. Every chef ever knows exactly what you use. Like...
One day. They've got Miller locked up in that town. Check your eye droid for his location. I hope to hell he's all right. He's not your average client. That's a rough diamond. Good find. It'll fetch a high price.
Еще одна колонна с Родины была атакована.
5? Что мы потеряли?
Весь груз, но никто не пострадал.
Я водки не видел уже несколько месяцев.
Откуда только берутся эти душманы? Мы их мочим и мочим.
Нас не хватает людей. Если бы нас было в 2 раза больше, мы бы могли ударить одновременно. И тогда могло бы получиться.
В 2 раза больше людей, значит, в 2 раза больше потерянных в следующей атаке припасов. Простудился? Не болей.
Ага, ты тоже.
That's the building, boss. That's where they're holding Miller.
God.
No more use for me, huh?
Cos, it's me. I'm here to get you out.
Snake.
They do something to your eyes?
No, it's just bright as all. Took you so long.
We'll talk, but not here.
You've secured the target. I'll send the chopper to get you out. Make your way to the RV. You can check the location on your iDroid.
Well, age hasn't slowed you down one bit. Not so heavy anymore, right? Magic words, boss. I've been waiting 9 years to hear them. Kept you waiting, huh? Come on. Say it for all time's sake.
It's a type of medicinal plant. We can use that to make tranquilizer rounds more potent.
We lost it all that day. Everything. We lost it all that day.
This is B-Squad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Gotta look ahead. There's something I want to show you. gas. It's them. Boss, watch out. It's the skulls. Don't let them find us.
Boss, whatever that mist is, it's all around you. We can't see through it. I'm changing the RV so it's outside the mist. Get over there. The chopper will be waiting. The mission area. You're not giving up, are you?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how I can get out of here without getting caught.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Oh, that poor sheep.
Coast is cleared, and it looks like they're gone.
Yeah, those things. That's the unit that attacked us before. They came at us real fast in the same kind of mist. Our men, survivors from 9 years ago, were wiped out in minutes.
All right.
I don't know what
Put
they
Miller
want,
in.
but it's them. No mistake.
Gaining altitude.
We're headed for the Seychelles. That's where our new home is now. Hey. That was some operation we had, huh? 9 years ago. Carving out our own world. Making our own future. And they took it away. I'm gonna rebuild it. Make a new place. Together. That we can call home. Yeah, we were dogs, all right. Slinking around out of Cypher's sight. Digging up whatever kind of dirty money we could find. You name it. We did it. You see this? Diamond Dogs. Our new home. A phantom of our former selves. Triumph. Death. We weren't allowed either. Yeah. I remember it all. Snake. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost, the comrades I've lost, won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. You feel it too, don't you? one who got caught up with Cypher. A group above nations, even the US. And I was the parasite below, feeding off Zero's power. They came after you in Cyprus. Then Afghanistan. Cypher just keeps growing. Swallowing everything in its path. Getting bigger and bigger. Who knows how big now? Boss. I'm gonna make him give back our past. Take back everything that we've lost. And I won't rest until we do.
Approaching Mother Base.
Our new Mother Base. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll make it bigger. Better than before.
Gosh. What should I do?
Boss?
Tell me. Tell me like you used to.
Things have changed, boss. We pull in money, recruits, just to combat Cypher. Rubbing our noses in bloody battlefield dirt. All for revenge. The world calls for wet work, and we answer. No greater good. No just cause.
Cause?
Cypher sent us to hell. But we're going even deeper.
I know. I'm already a demon. Heaven's not my kind of place anyway.
Dogs of war for 9 whole years. That ends today. Now you're not sleeping, and we're not junkyard hounds. We're diamond dogs.
Let them talk.
We can crush Cypher, boss. And you can build the army that can do it.
Just one thing, Kaz. This isn't about the past. We're fighting for the future.
Boss, there's something. You came. This base belongs to you. Go for them, not me. That's enough. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves. That's enough. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves. Like any organization, we need good people. And we need... This isn't the time.
I'll stop.
Like any organization, we need good people. and we need to make good use of their talents. Miller asked me to lay that out for you. To start bringing people in, use this. It's a Fulton recovery device. When you're in the field, use it to extract any soldiers or prisoners you want back here. And we'll see if we can't persuade them to join the ranks of battle. Go on. Test it out on the staff here. Anyone you want. Now approach them and extract it. Extraction complete. You can only Fulton recover someone if they're not resisting it. No dead bodies either. They don't make great recruits. The staff member you just extracted will be assigned to the team best suited to his abilities. See for yourself. Open your iDroid. Select staff management. So that staff member was placed on the R&D team. The R&D team is in charge of developing all kinds of weapons and items that will support you on missions. Take a look at the development list. Select weapons items under the development heading. That's the R&D team's development list. See the item called cardboard box? Didn't seem much use to me, but Miller was adamant that you'd want it on the list. The last word is
fucking classic.
Technology, or so he said. In any case,
I'm absolutely going to use the cardboard box.
On the team. Go extract a few more people. Boss, put the eye. You can also Fulton extract individuals you've knocked out. Why don't you try knocking someone out with CQC? Now it's done. It's all right. There's no hurry. Just relax and try again. Excellent, boss. Now extract it. Good. Extraction complete. One thing I should mention. Fulton extraction won't always be successful. If the person is injured, the shock of it could kill them. If the weather's unfavorable, well, they could end up going missing. You can determine the chance of success by approaching the person you want to extract. If you want to be sure you can get them out, best carry them to the chopper instead. Select weapons items under the development. Now select cardboard box and start development. Just be aware that development has finished. You can have the support unit supply you with weapons and items you've developed. Think of it as your own personal delivery service. And there it is. Not sure what it's good for, but Miller said you'd know what to do. Try it out. One last thing. The staff members you extracted were all placed on the R&D team, but that was Miller's decision. If you think they belong somewhere else, you're free to move them around. Well, that about does it. You won't make any GSP or find recruits hanging around here. Board the chopper when you're ready for a mission. Open your iDroid and select a landing zone to tell it where to pick you up. Or if you're still in the mood for knocking guys on their asses, you can stay around here a while. It's practice. Just come pay me a visit.
Thanks for that, boss.
Y'all three know you fucked up, right? Like, you three specifically? I need to drug them because they are my soldiers, and I'm not going to beat them up without doping them up on some heroin to take away the pain. Those poor guys. I accidentally shot his nuts.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
And it is indeed heroin or morphine that he shoots them with, because you get it from the poppy plants. It's the best fucking army ever. They do everything in unison. Literally on everything in unison, bro. Turns out I failed the mission.
Boss, I know you haven't been back long, but I prepared a list of missions for you. Open your iDroid. I've taken the job offers Diamond Dogs has received and made a list of those I want you to consider. Which ones you accept is your call. The objectives of the missions I've added are prisoner rescue, facility sabotage, and high-value target elimination. Probably all a walk in the park for you, but they should help you get back on your feet. I put the mission details on a cassette tape. Refer to it if you decide to accept the mission. We'll receive GMP for completing missions, and extracting soldiers and prisoners will boost our ranks. Building up Mother Base is the first step to achieving our goal. If that means wet work, so be it. We're gonna have to get our hands dirty. I hope you're rested up, because we're not stopping. Not until the pain is gone. The future of Diamond Dogs is in your hands. We're counting on you, boss.
Farming villages in southern Vahan have been subjected to a strategic bombing campaign the past several weeks. The damage is spreading. It's part of the Soviet Scorched Earth operation aimed at wiping out the guerrillas. The target this time is the commander of a Spetsnaz detachment. He's been key to the operation's success. People say this guy's responsible for annihilating the Mujahideen at Tismasi Laman, the Hamid fighters, overnight. He's a tough, experienced commander. Don't underestimate him. The order from my client in the west is to shoot on sight. They want him out of the picture for good. Sorry, boss. This one's purely business. Wet work. A hit on a commanding officer of the Soviet military. Nothing personal. We're only doing this because it gets us one step closer to our goal.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago Calais and eliminate the target. compounds from plants to make medicine or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need. Then go find them if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy, too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up. A Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
Если среди них будут жертвы, это только подольет масло в огонь. Если командир прикажет мне убить гражданского...
Commander of a Spetsnaz detachment. Not the kind of guy you want to go up against. that, or turn it off to shut off all the lights and surveillance cameras in the outpost. But of course, the enemy will realize something's up. If you're gonna do it, be quick.
This is either going to completely work out for me, or it's not going to work out for me at all.
That's the target. Boss, I gotta say it would be a waste to kill him. But putting him to sleep doesn't count as eliminating him. Neither does knocking him out. Всем боевым группам, это КП. Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверить сеть питания. КП, это Дмитрий-1. Наследую. Конец связи. Sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around. That's it. You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss. Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss. How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I've gone ahead and arranged for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed. Remember the guys you brought back from the base in Cuba 9 years ago? Believe it or not, some of them survived that hell we went through.
I got Hideo Kojima as a fucking soldier, dude.
Our brothers in fate. They'll be glad to know you've seen them here.
Motherfucker makes an appearance in Cyberpunk 2077, too.
The side ops list is comprised of problems we need you to resolve. Objectives to be completed, and information gained from the soldiers and prisoners you've extracted. These aren't missions per se, but if you can take care of them when you're free, I'd appreciate it. Roger.
Squad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is P-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
I feel sorry for whoever that poor Middle Eastern dude was that just got hit with a whole bunch of bullets out of nowhere.
By connecting your iDroid to the onboard computer, you turn the chopper into your own Aerial Command Center, or ACC. Some elements of staff assignment and R&D of weapons and items can only be performed from there. Take as long as you need to consider all your options.
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in the mist? You knew something about them. That wasn't my first run-in with them. It happened right before I was captured by the Soviets. We were on the Zero line that day, the Afghan side, on our way back from training the Mujahideen at a mountain camp in Kunar province. There's a lot of that work in Afghanistan. Most PFs shy away from it because it draws too much attention. But for us, that was the whole point. The job itself went great. We just had to make it back to a tribal area in Pakistan. But all of a sudden, visibility got real bad. It was no sandstorm. Our point man gave this strange report. He said he could see skulls in the mist. Skulls? The next moment, he went silent. We scrambled into formation, right before his arms and legs came raining down on us. It was always supposed to be a dangerous mission, so I had Diamond Dog's very best with me. We were calling out to each other. But one by one, the voices just went dead. Whatever happened to me, I lost consciousness before I knew it. When I came to, I was in a Soviet camp, tied to an interrogation chair. Could they be some new Spetsnaz unit? No. The ones that interrogated me were just the average rank and file. Whatever group attacked us, the way they moved was just insane. And that mist, appearing out of nowhere. The Soviets don't have tech like that. If they did, Ocelot would have heard about it. I doubt the West does either. Otherwise, the folks at Langley would be sleeping a lot easier. Why'd they come after you? Wish I knew. I'm the only one who survived. Though I don't think they planned it that way. If I was their target, they wouldn't have just handed me over to the 40th Army. Whatever the case, we need to watch our step until we know who they really are. And boss, if you ever do run into them again, Don't try to take them on. You just get the hell out of there. When I first started dealing with Zero, with Cypher, it was a somewhat parasitic relationship. Though, a mutually beneficial one. Cypher had no army of their own, so they wanted us. They wanted our strength. They approached me as a potential business partner. But they had other motives. Cypher coaxed us into Central America, into that US-Soviet proxy war, to fuel Mother Base's growth. Once we were big enough, they'd force us to join them. That was the plan. That's why they had Paz, still Zeke. Right. And if we refused, she would use Zeke to fire a nuke from Mother Base. The world would consider us a liability, and countries would unite to destroy us. We stopped the launch. And yet they still took us down. Through that fake inspection they orchestrated to cover up their sabotage. That power Cypher wanted. We don't have it anymore. So why are they still after you? Is it just the fear of leaving you alive? I don't know. Was Zero really... All I know is the man I knew wouldn't want this. What do you mean? We have to consider that it might not be Zero we're dealing with. We know virtually nothing about Cypher anymore. How big they've gotten, what they want, or even who they really are. The new Mother Base started out as a test drilling rig operated by a mineral resources supplier, but their project fell through. The Seychelles government was happy to hand the place over to us. It was just scrap on stilts. So with a few dummy construction companies set up as fronts, we started renovating the half-finished rig. From the outside, it looked like the project was back on rails. Kaz, you... What? I see what you're doing. Recreating the Mother Base we had 9 years ago. Only this time. That's right. The Mother Base Cypher thought they destroyed will return from the grave to kill them. We'll prove to the world that we were the victors. And if we lose again? They can't fool us the same way twice. Now our enemies are in plain sight. And when our organization gets too big, we split it across companies. Any company that draws attention gets liquidated, and its capital is back-channeled into a new company. Most PFs are small-time operations anyway. And in this business, the minnows go bankrupt all the time. We've never aroused suspicion. Plus, we have Hewick. Hewick? Human Exploitation Company. It's a business specializing in intel gathering. Think of it as a civilian intelligence agency. Cause that's... Remember what they were trying to accomplish at the prison facility in Cuba? That gave me the idea. We dispatch moles into conflict zones around the world, and each sets up an intel network on site. Then they stay in place to give us stable points of contact when other nations intervene in the conflicts. Hewick's strength is that it has a cutout at each level. You get your job from one guy, then you hand it off to another. No one has direct access. It's a perfect black box. Hewick members also work their way into the superpowers intelligence agencies to make sure Diamond Dogs gets work. We have those countries by the balls. That's our deterrent when we need it. Networking? In the intelligence community? Sure. That's how we've grown this far. And when you go out on missions, intel from Hewick will be there to back you up. But despite all that, Cypher has its eyes on us. The only reason I'm not dead is that they needed to know where you were. Figured if you woke up, I'd go straight to you. That's why you made that ruckus at the Zero line. Yeah, to make their own surveillance work against them. I think it took some of the heat off Cyprus. Kaz. Then I just had to wait for you to save me. And I've gotten used to waiting. Kaz. That's not all. It was a good chance to scout the market. And with the West wanting the Soviets out of Afghanistan, their agencies are bursting at the seams with funding. Boss, let's start by building up our Afghan presence. Why put Mother Base in the Seychelles? We're at the center of the world here. We're all the way out in the Indian Ocean. Come on. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, East Timor, and Africa. From here, our reach extends to conflict zones the world over, including Afghanistan, of course. So it's prime real estate for a mercenary. Exactly. Latin America isn't as close as I'd like, but we have Amanda and her people to help in that department. And besides, the Seychelles government owes us a favor. Owes us? The Seychelles has strong ties to the east, which the West wanted to shake up. It came to a head 3 years ago, in an attempted coup. It was a force of South African mercenaries, with U.S. backing behind the scenes. They were only platoon size, but South Africa is home to some heavy PFs. Too much for the Seychelles to handle. In the end, they accepted help from the Tanzanian army and quelled the coup. We set up the deal and handled on-site tactical instruction. That led to some training work for the Seychelles military. And when we put down a mutiny within their forces, well, we made a lot of people happy. They don't pay us. They just let us have a piece of their offshore territory on the promise we'll come running if something else happens.
So we're bodyguards, too.
It's a good setup. We can only take Mother Base so far here. We'll have to find somewhere else when this place starts getting big.
Aren't you being a little hasty?
Nothing hasty about it. You're back with us now.
So, Kaz, the ship that took us from Cyprus, it used to be a whaler.
Yeah, a Japanese vessel. How was the voyage?
It was... stimulating.
Well, she was part of a whaling fleet up until a few years ago. Her displacement isn't anything to write home about, but she can really move. She still had plenty of life left in her, but then the work dried up. Global opposition to whaling has been mounting for years.
Is that right?
The push to ban it has been gaining traction for a little over a decade. Individual species came under protection as the years went on. And then 2 years ago, the IWC adopted a moratorium on commercial whaling. Several countries, including Japan, fought it to the bitter end. But eventually, most whaling companies had no choice but to throw in the towel. You ever tried whale snake?
Can't say that I have.
When I was a kid in Japan, practically everybody ate it.
That good, huh?
The country was poor in those days, and whale was cheap. International opinions changed since then. In any case, that's why we were able to get a bargain price on the ship. Of course, we did end up spending 5 times the purchase price in modifications. We had to really work to fit in all the ESM and communications gear while keeping the whaler look intact. Right now, she's going around conducting SIGINT missions. In the future, we plan to use her as a communications relay base between you and Mother Base, and also as a chopper resupply vessel. Diamond dogs. The word diamond originally comes from the Greek adamas. It means indomitable, unyielding. Other words for the stones often mean eternal bond, fortitude, or purity. The same is true of the Star of Bethlehem flowers you laid on the boss's grave. They represent innocence, as well as chastity, yielding to no man while maintaining one's virtue. In other words, staying loyal to something.